Okay, I'm Claire Hamshire and I'm a Senior Learning and Teaching Fellow and I work within the Faculty of Health, Psychology and Social Care. So I've been at MMU for about 12 years and I came originally from working as a physiotherapist and so I came as a Senior Lecturer in Physiotherapy, and then once I started work at the university I began to do more and more research of my teaching and I was sort of passionate about trying to be the best teacher I could be, and so I constantly wanted to evaluate what we were doing and making sure that we're providing opportunities for students and help them develop whilst they were on the programmes. And gradually over the years I built up a portfolio of research on my teaching practice. So I applied and I was given a huge amount of support, and I think that's another key reason why I was successful in my application. I worked very closely with a number of people within the Centre for Learning and Teaching who were kind enough to read some of the awful things I wrote to begin with and give me a lot of peer support and feedback. And it really was an ongoing process of writing, because it's not a way most people are used to writing actually. Initially it feels quite like ruthless self-promotion, as I always tell everybody. Because, I mean, it invites you to talk about the excellence within your own teaching, and I think as academics we're not very good at doing that. We look at analysing and researching our practice, but talking about why you are excellent I think is something that's new and different, so it takes a while to get used to it. So that's just the first part, because then it also talks about how you work with colleagues, because obviously it's most important that you promote good practice within colleagues, and a big part of the NTF application is also focusing upon your personal development. So how do you continue to develop your practice, and how do you use reflection to sort of reflect on what you've done and how it can further be adapted or improved for student learning. I was hugely delighted and almost honoured actually to be a National Teaching Fellow. Because I'd been to a number of conferences and within the UK, I'd met a number of National Teaching Fellows. I'd always been hugely inspired by the work they'd done and their willingness to sort of share and the way they were sort of passionate about student learning and sort of developing good practice across the community. So to be part of that community has just been, it's been great. I've learnt so much just from having time to be part of the Association of National Teaching Fellows, because once you get your fellowship, you become part of this community of people who are all absolutely passionate about learning. And I went to a 2-day conference and met people from across the UK really, and shared ideas and got to learn about different support groups and people that were working together, writing bids, writing book chapters, and it was just great to get contacts at other universities that you might not necessarily have met really. The impact for me is almost the opportunities it gives you within a community of people who are passionate about learning, and because we're all National Teaching Fellows, it's sort of, and you're a little association that works together to support each other, it is absolutely marvellous to be invited to go and speak at other universities or collaborate on a project, and I think that is the main thing that I've got from being a National Teaching Fellow really. My advice would be to get in touch with people at the Centre for Learning and Teaching and look at how they can develop their current practice and maybe their research and evaluation work of their practice, and sort of build that into a portfolio of evidence really that demonstrates their ability to support student learning.